Can I lose my job while on maternity leave? The answer might actually surprise you. My name's Shauna Cole, and this is Career Interrupted. When it comes to maternity leave, there's this really common misconception in Canada that you can't lose your job while you're on mat leave. So a lot of people seem to believe that mat leave secures our employment for a period of time. And I'm here today to drop a sort of truth bomb. And that is that you can actually lose your job while you're on mat leave. I know, not because you're on mat leave, but for a bunch of other reasons. I get this call from a client. Her name is Shannon. She had worked for the same company for about 10 years. She was shocked when she got a call from her employer that said, well, Shannon, sorry, but you're not going to be returning to this place of employment after mat leave because your position no longer exists. So Shannon was feeling completely overwhelmed, stressed, upset, all of the things you can imagine. She's home transitioning, getting used to life with a new baby, and now her very familiar employer is ending their relationship with her. So what had happened in Shannon's case was the employer went through a significant reorganization while she was on mat leave that ended up in the elimination of her pre-mat leave position. And that ended up impacting her in all sorts of ways. It's important to know that an employer can't terminate you while you're on mat leave for any reason sort of related to your mat leave. So they can't terminate you because you decided to take a 12 or an 18-month mat leave. They can't terminate you because they decided they like your replacement better than they like you. Highly unlikely though. And they can't terminate your employment because you had to take some sort of sick leave related to your pregnancy. All those scenarios would qualify as sort of unfair, unjust, and illegal dismissal from your place of employment. On the other hand, an employer can actually legally terminate you from their employee if they've gone through some sort of really significant reorganization that's resulted in the elimination of your pre-mat leave position. The employer could also terminate you if you've done something while on leave to breach any sort of terms in your employment contract. So if you've done anything on mat leave that violated your employment contract or any sort of code of ethical conduct, the employer could actually terminate your employment. So if you're on mat leave, you are in fact not 100% safe from, staying employed by this employer post your return to work. It is entirely possible that you could lose your job while on mat leave, much like Shannon did. I feel like I'm full of bad news today. I'm full of bad news. But the good news is there are some things that you can actually do to plan for your career while you are on mat leave. In Shannon's case, the termination of her role actually ended up being a really, really good thing. She had worked a career in marketing and had been sort of moonlighting doing a degree in HR. She was one course short of obtaining this degree. So she thought to herself, I'm not totally qualified for a role in HR. So she just never applied. When she reached out to me, we talked about that being her long-term career goal. And this was an ideal opportunity to test it out. So we completely rebranded her offer to an employer and made her an HR person, really, really highlighting her key HR skills and her education in that area. So Shannon, well on mat leave, home with a 6-month-old baby, was able to secure employment in the HR field. Not only that, it's not like she was spending hours a day working towards this. She was spending on average 10 minutes a day doing some sort of work to advance her career while on mat leave. It's hard to find time when you're home with the baby, so it's not reasonable to expect someone to spend several hours a day trying to make this career shift happen. So Shannon essentially went from feeling super disappointed to overwhelmed, sad. I mean, her whole professional credibility she felt was in question because of the job loss on mat leave, and she took it really, really personally. So she went from feeling all these negative things like the overwhelm, the frustration, and the betrayal to feeling really, really excited and awakened to new possibilities. The way to do a transition like this is to really focus in on your personal brand and setting a clear and intentional career plan for yourself. The foundation is really stemmed in knowing what your own personal goals are and knowing what you want to get out of life and your career after you return to work from mat leave. We don't spend a lot of time doing this. As women, we go on mat leave, take care of baby, and often leave our needs and careers to the wayside. It really doesn't have to be like that. So remember, your maternity leave is a really, really unique and interesting time in your life. It offers big opportunity to make big change and opportunities for self-reflection and to come out even better on the other side, both personally and professionally. If you found this video helpful, please be sure to subscribe to my channel and remember to make change work.